Hello, good evening. So sorry I'm a little bit late. I had to unpack from the week away. We've just unloaded the car this evening. Just getting you ready to pop you down onto the desk. That's me. There we go. I'm in the right place. So yes, I've been at Rocks and Barnes all week, and might even have some new faces joining us. So I've put the graphic up on the Facebook page so you can see that's it's coming up, and I'm sure we'll have some people joining me shortly. So I've unloaded the car. I think I've got enough things out of the bags and bags at the end of the studio to make something this evening. So let me get you down onto the table. There we go, move you across. I've taken my board out today because the glass mat down to the other mat, because I've got the different lights on. I haven't run upstairs to switch them over. So we've got a dull surface, so it's not going to glare a strip light just right through the middle here. So today I'm going to use some strips. We've done strips recently, but this is totally different. I don't think you've seen me do this. We're going to be using these papers and I've got some card here, some scraps in case I need them, but these were some bits that I had left over, so I thought I'd just show you. I know that these ones are all the same width because I've already tested them and they do measure the same, so we're going to be using these different designs, fronts and backs, but we'll take some more out of here as we need. So I'm going to cut a layer first of vanilla. Now you don't see me using vanilla very often, and there's a little tale to tell on this one. Regulars will know that I'm addicted to my note cards. I absolutely love them. Well, in my head I had that the vanilla was going. So if any of you have seen me and I've said, oh no, vanilla's going, vanilla note cards and envelopes have gone when the annual catalogue changed. But the normal thick card stock and the normal card, well, they haven't gone. So I've got some thick here. I'm just going to cut myself a little layer to use on my card. I want it to be, I've got my dots on this trimmer, look. So 1485 is the full front. So I'm going to go just under. I'm going to go at 15 and a half on here for the metric. Hi Lynn and hi Anne, nice to see you. So I'd normally go 3 mils under, so 10 and a half is halfway this way. So if I go 10.2, that'll leave me a little bit of a border around the outside. So I'm going to pop those back in the packet so they don't get lost. And this is going to be my matte layer that we're going to work on. So I want to have some colours out of here. Which colours would I like to use as the base card? I might actually, just a sec, I've got these ones. I've got some more bits in here, a splash of red in there, but some bits in here. I have got some with decorated bits on. Let's just take those two out. These are ones I've been using previously. So this is a plain base card, which will go with those papers. And also I have this one that's had a gut layer gutted out from the middle here. So I might, if I took that down a tiny little bit again, I could actually use that one, couldn't I? So let me just take a tiny bit off there. Let's go down the full ½ centimetre. Sorry, the full, yeah, ½ centimetre in total. So take that one down there. Hi Susan, hi Marilyn. So I'm just come down to 14.3. Just taking that little bit off, and I'm hoping that that's going to be, no, I still need to come down further, don't I? Okay, let's grab the ruler and see what measurements this was on here. I did this a few weeks ago now. So I need it to be weird measurements, 9.4 and 13. 9.4 this way. Just test one at a time. I normally, if I'm stuck and I don't know what the measurements are, I will just get a little pencil and just put a little pencil mark where I want it. So if I turn this over and do it from the back side here, that one's looking okay in the middle there, and I just want a tiny little pencil dot just on here to be the same distance here, here and the other end. So I'm going to lay that piece in my track. Okay, if you get little bits like this, fluffy bits in your track, you're just going to grab a piece of card and run it down. I saw some the other day. There's my little bit of fluff, look, all bits of card. So I saw some the other day putting a knife blade, a scissor blade down there. Please don't do that, because you're more likely to notch in that track. and our paper snips, which are buried under here, our paper snips are so sharp. If you run this down, it's a bit wider than your track, so you're trying to do this, and yet it's too fat, so you're going to damage your track. So it's really not a good idea to do that. So I've done that on here. Look, there's the little dot. So I'm putting the dot in the cutting track. Just going to cut that one down, and we should find that that's going to go perfectly in the middle there. There we go. So we can use this one. So reusing something that's already been prepped for us. That's just a coincidence. Anyway, I'm going to take that out of the way. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to measure up from the middle here with the ruler that's just here. So I want to have a little bit of a gap at the bottom. So what a good rule of thumb is, depending on the width of your ruler, I'm going to put this here, so I'm on the 0, and I'm going to do this up from the bottom, the width of my ruler. So it's straight along the bottom here. Let me just zoom you in a little bit more. You seem to be a long way away from, oops, a daisy. Oh, that's gone a bit crazy. Sorry. It was delayed reaction. There we go. Maybe a little bit too close now, isn't it? Yeah, a bit delayed reaction. The bottom went really fast. So there we go. So this edge here is lined up along the bottom of my ruler, and I've got 0 there, and I've got 9.4 there. So half of that is 4.5 and another couple on top. So 4.5 and another 2. So I'm going to put a little point there. Okay, I can see that. So that's going to be all right. Now what we're going to do here is a bit of a kind of a quilted look. We might need some more scraps from here though, that's the only thing. So I've got my little mini trimmer here. So I've got that if we need to cut some more. And how I tend to do my widths of things, if I'm doing scraps, I like to use up pieces like this. So I'm going to push this in from the side. Now there are 2 notches on here. I'm just going to remind you, if I take that out, you've got a dark strip down there. So if you can see, if I put this just up to the first edge, it locks in and it's got that little gap there. So I could do that one, but then the other one is latching on the full width. So I just need to test one of these and see which the one they were before I do it. So that, if I pop that in, that's going to go to the first line. So there we go. So if I just pop that in there, we're just latching it on there to the first line. You can go to the next one as well. Whatever you decide, just have your strips all the same. I don't think there's anything wrong with actually having this design in different width strips, but we can try that another time. I've only done it with even strips. Teresa, lovely to see you. Hi there. So, and Yvonne's on here. Hi, Yvonne. And we've got Anne over on YouTube from New Zealand, which is lovely. So good morning to you there, my dear. So we're going to just pop that in there like so. So I'm going to use up this piece just because there's some bits there. So I've got those ready. So now what we're going to do is the very first point is, I'll use these because these are quite a dark one. I'm going to do a kind of like a butterfly up here. We're going to put the sentiment down the bottom. I have one in the Stamparatas there, but we can use that one, or I might choose another one, depends how I feel it goes. So, you know what I haven't got? Oh, yes, I have. Yes. I used my travel tweezers while I was away. So I'm going to place this right at the bottom corner on there. Now, I also want to just have it coming up evenly either side. I want to have like a dovetail going up here. So if I grab my pencil again, I'm going to say, right, what sort of angle do I want these to come at? So if I imagine that one being there, I've got all sorts of parameters here I could use. So I think I'm going to come to, that one looks like good eyeball. So I'm going to put that one to there and that one to there. So because I've used my board underneath here to keep a straight line, I've got 2 notches there to work to. I'm going to make sure in all cases I cover that ever so slightly with Tombow, with the adhesive and the paper. So I'm going to place that one on there and I'm going to aim for that corner. Okay, so I only want to glue up to where my tweezers are. So if I hold those down there and put some adhesive on there, this is our Tombow. It's really, really fabulous adhesive. It's my adhesive of choice. I'm just going to place that just over that little pencil mark so we don't have to rub it out. Make sure the glue is wet glue so it will slide. So take care with that. And there's my piece up there. Now, because it's such a long length on here, I'm just going to snip that off now. All right, but generally I'd wait till the end to do those. So I can use the rest of this strip, and we're going to come up the other side. So we're going to have a strip coming up there. Doesn't need to be up both, does it? It's not going to work like that. So okay, I just wanted to find the middle to know where the strips are going to come from. So you're not actually going to get this in the middle. Let's rub that one out now. You can tell it's a while since I've done this technique. So you're going to have a little yin and yang going on up there. So we can have that one coming off at an angle there, or we could go there. I don't want too much vanilla on here, so I'm going to bring that down. Okay, so again, I'm going to take that on the end there, pop some adhesive down here, just very sparingly, you know that. Hi Carol, nice to see you. So I'm just going to butt that one up there, and you're going to go with the parallel line from the end of this piece. So it's just going to come up there like so. Once you've got your first two pieces down, you're good to go. So we can leave these to the end, or you can trim them as you go. Okay, so there we go, we've got a starting point now. So it's up to you when you'd like to put your sentiment on. Now we've got some space in here, we could do that now, or you could do it later. So I'm going to try and alternate some of these colours, the strips, a little bit. So I'm going to put this one on here, that's going to come up next. Okay, and again, because they're so long, you could roughly cut them before you go. Okay, and then put some Tombow on here. Hi Jane, nice to catch me live. I've got a question mark for you on Sunday. Just send me a private message and just tell me whether you were going to be popping over Sunday or not. I've got some initials in there. I'm not sure who they're belonging to. So I think you're a JB. So I'm just going to pop those down there. And pop that in there. So we're just following the lines. It's a really good way to use up odd scraps. I know we've had a few scrap things recently, just using up those oddments, because you know I'm a thrifty crafter. So this one's going to come along here. I know we've got cream card, but we're going to butt something else up a bit busier when we'll put this one next. So just using, they're all different lengths because they're just remnants that I've had. That happens to be the other side of that one, like the gingham. I'll just pop that one in there, like so. And then we'll use the same pattern coming up the other side. So we're not, I might have put, I'll go there. If I hold it where the tweezers, where I want to go up to, then I won't stretch the glue, unnecessarily making a mess. So new ladies joining me, I am a tweezer girl. These aren't Stampin' Up. The only ones we have are the reverse tweezers that are part of an embossing kit. They're lovely, they have their place, and I do use them, but for picking up things and holding them while you're doing things, these are my go-to. And Stampin' Up don't do a pair like this, so I do have to have, I've had these for years from another source. So just to go down there with my glue. So that's just making it nice and snug, so you can feel a little bit of a ridge there. Make sure it's into the bottom corner there, and then we'll come back with this one, and that's going to go up there. And again, I hold it, it's just my choice to hold it where the end is, so I know how far to take the glue. Don't go too near the edges because you don't want it to ooze out. It's a very good PVA glue. It's not diluted like a kid's glue, so it will hold, but it will just spread if you go sort of just down the middle, but not to the outside edges. And then what else have we got left? This one's a bit of a busy pattern with some leaves, but then we'll have a piece here too. Let me just try this. It's not a very busy piece. We could have the leaf down there, couldn't we? Let me chop that straight so we've got a straight end. And then that could go in there, couldn't it? So we've got some busyness going on. In fact, I might turn that round like so. There we go, we've got those ones. So I'll come up to there, inside of those tweezers, very, very light with the Tombow. There we go. And this one again, coming up where the tweezers need to be, along there. This little tiny piece. Okay. Yes, it's been a very long week, driving every day there and back, but the setting up and packing down days are quite yeah, hectic. So I'll be glad to have I'd say gin and tonic, but I think I'll have a glass of Prosecco when I finish. So just going to hold it on that end piece, just get some of that length away. Talking to ladies today about the thriftiness of crafting and just good ideas for charities. When you're making cards for charity, you want to make your money go further, your supplies go further. So I am a thrifty bod. There we go, and we have got a tiny little bit at the top there, so we just want to find a little corner. That's the same one, I don't want that. What's this one? No. So I'm just going to take a little tiniest piece off the end of this. If I do it with the guillotine, that'll be square on. So I will do it in reverse. I'm going to put a little tiny dot in there. Okay, don't need much. And then slot this one into that corner. There we go, like so. Okay, now we want those to hold tight for a little while. The glue, the Tombow does adhere really, really quickly. I have gone a little bit over there, look. Let's get a piece of kitchen roll. Okay, I shall get rid of that. So bring this one back. Now, just try not to knock those pieces off, but what we're going to do next is get a large pair of scissors. I don't like having the too long a lengths on here, especially just getting started, but I do this with my scissors, okay? And then I will come along, all these little pieces will come off the end and they will go back into my scraps pot, okay? So I've got a little bit of adhesive on that one, but all I'm doing is butting up to that line of card. So you kind of, your scissors take along, they just guide along the edge of that, so it keeps it nice and straight. Could just slip through that one, just here with that one, and then come down here doing exactly the same. Okay, now that's all my little bits, so the ends of those might be a little bit sticky, so I'll just get those out of the way, and then we're left with our panel that's going to sit on our card here. That little white speck is part of the gingham piece, so this is all going to sit on here really nice and neatly. But because it was quite tight, if you find you want to just take a little slither off there, it makes it more pristine as to the scissors just following the edge line. So I'm just going to run that just along there, just a gnat's whisker. So that's all I've done, just a tiniest little piece, and that'll go in the bin. And then I'll do the opposite side. Tiny little gnat's whisker along there. Again, that just takes that off, but gives it a good clean cut. So let's just measure up for size. So we've got a nice little border all the way around, and there we are, we're good to go. Now before I pop that down, I'm going to do the greeting on here, the sentiment. Now I've got a sentiment here from the Trekking Along. This was one of the ones I used the other day for the WI. They made their make and takes, and we had them doing this one. So I'm just going to clean this to make sure that it was cleaned. Oh, bless you. You're now tuned in. There you go. So it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night or thereabouts. And then 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. Okay, and it's both places. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll catch me. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that one. This is the stamping platform, but I've got blocks as well you could stamp with. ideally, I would prefer to stamp this before I do all my gubbins. When we did the WI talk, they were doing some kind of iris folding that we've done this on a live with the ribbon pieces, and I got them to stamp first so that if their stamping wasn't good, I could just give them another piece of card, so they didn't worry. So I'm not sure whether I want that one or whether I want one out of the Christmas trees, the decorative trees. So I think that's quite nice and petite. That's going to go back in it. I'm just going to stick that back in it. So that's going back in there. This one is one that has got the punch that goes with the truck. So the truck, that punches out all the component pieces, and then you can put your trees in the back. You can put presents and all of these other bits and pieces in the back of your truck. So that's a really nice set, but that's only because that was out. So I'm going to use on here, I think, Season's Greetings. If I take that one out, got lots of bits in here. I'll take all of those out because they're just getting in the way now. That's a much bigger one, and that will sit really nicely in that corner. So let's just do that one. Okay, so I'm going to place that in the corner there. Okay, the magnets are down, they're holding it in place. I'm going to press on there. I've got my air hockey puck to press that down, and then I'm just going to pop that in. Yeah. If I do the back of a stamp case, it keeps it flat. I've got an assortment of inks here, but I've got Mossy Meadow, which is the same colour as the back of the card we're going to be using today. Okay, so I'm going to ink that one up. And there we go. And then just stamp that one down and press it down like so. Okay, and that's gone lovely. If not, then if you're not quite happy with it, you can just tap it up again and then make it a bit darker, or any pieces that you've missed. I find that one of these, I got it off the internet, it's a child size puck, and it's just handy for this. You don't need it to be big. It's not a made for this purpose tool, but hey, it does the job really well. Okay, just clean that off there so I know that that's done, and then we'll take our piece out and we're ready to go. Okay, pop that away, pop that away. We'll bring this back down onto the table. So this has been gutted, I've done before. I've got a little packet here with several bits in, so as I've got leftover pieces, they're scraps, but they're too good to throw at the moment. And then I've got some that are partly mounted onto card bases. So I like to sort of like, if I'm not sure what I'm going to use, I tend to do that, and some embossed pieces. Then I've got a bag of bits to play with when I want. So I'm going to place that on there in the borders. I think I've got a bigger border top and bottom to the sides now than the top. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to take a whisker off the top as well. I did the sides, but I think that could do with a little minute piece. I tend to eyeball quite well, and make sure that that's going to be nice in there and there. Now all of these layers are flat. If you want to, you could put them raised, but because of the nature of the beast, if I put that one raised, you won't actually get to see the middle layer. So in this case, I'm going to put everything flat on there. Okay, a little dot in the middle maybe as well. Looking great. Oh, thanks, Anne. These are gorgeous papers. I love them. These are one of the online exclusives. So if you're looking, you need to go to my online store, the Stampin' Up website, and you need to look on there. I will give you a recap of those if you like. Where did I put them? Down here. We have used these on previous lives, but I just take these out. I'm getting through this pack so quickly. You've got 6 patterns. So you've got this one. I think that looks like hearts, and the stars on the back, but they're all gold foiled on one piece. This one is a nice fern sort of like effect, and on the back we've got the gold dots. So gold foiling on one sheet of each paper. This is kind of like a mottled. And it's, oh, that's nice and bright. If I tweak that, look, you've got the gold foiling on there. We've used this one tonight, the check, And then on the back you've got the bells. This is actually a bundle that you can actually buy with the bells, and it's got the dies to cut some of these out, and the ferns and the sprigs, so you cut all of those. I've only got the papers in this set. We've done that one, haven't we? That's the same. That's the same. Oh, I think I've been through now, have I? Was that 6? Should have 6 different patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear, I've probably used a lot. You've seen these ones. Maybe the other ones I've used most of the papers up. That one we've just done. Yes, I think I must have used the other ones up. Yeah, there's always 6 patterns, or generally 6 patterns, and you've got double-sided. But yeah, that's all I've got left in that one at the moment. So I have got another pack on its way. So there's my card. Now we need some bling on there. We need to do something on there with some bling. So I'm just going to find bling. Oh, that's a tired one. I did take some with me, I'm sure I did. No, note cards. Oh. Well, in that case, I didn't take them with me, so they're not beside me. So I'm going to use whatever I can find in here. I tend to keep mine separate. I've got gems that are retired and I've got gems that are current. We always get parts of packets at the end of a catalogue, and they're too good to throw away. Those might go nicely. So I keep them all in packets, and I will use those as I go. So sometimes it's the colours that have retired, some of the designs have retired. Oh look, these are all facing the other way. They're smaller ones, but they've got some red tinge in those. Don't really want those. Hearts, silver, no, we've got gold. Black, no. Those are some quite nice ones I've been using. These are kind of like iridescent ones, and they've like got a cream background. So I think I'll use those ones. So these ones aren't available, but we have so many gems that are. And they could be anywhere at the moment, because I won't unpack until tomorrow. So I'm just going to randomly place some of these on there. We like odd numbers, so we're going to put 3s. I'll get a darker one there. They're like got gold foilings on them, so I'll put one over there. If we wanted to, we could put 5 and we could put some up there, but I think I'll leave it at that at the moment. Now there is another way of doing this card. I'm just going to do a little tiny piece on the inside while I chat. There's another way of doing this style of card, and I'd like to do that one as well another time. I can show you the basis of it this evening. So I'm going to trim this down and make this a nice liner to put your sentiment on. So we'll do this one first and get it finished, and then I will just take a few moments just to explain how to do it, because if you've got lots of scraps and you want to be doing your Christmas cards, it's a good one to do. Okay, that's those 2 out. So I'm going to stick this one inside, but before I do, I don't like to have naked, it's got a pencil mark there, so I'll turn it over. I don't like to have naked inside. I either stamp in the corner, or I can put a piece of one of these scraps on there, like so. I might like to put a border, so one of those strips was it's the same colour as that one. Let me just take the other colour, because it'll be too close to the border, so this one might look nice. That's not going to go on there, is it? I'll chop a piece off first. I can get that. No, still not. All these little strips will get used. Get that in there. Oh, look at that. My little guillotine, it's lovely, but it only takes this width. So I'm going to cut it off in that notched area, because then I know I've got a straight piece. However, I'm going to put that one away, and I'm going to put this up to the edge, so I'm going to have that as a border. Okay, like so. So if I grab my tweezers again and glue this, just going to pop that along there. If I go right to the end, that'll be fine. Well, I've got lots of messages there. Looking at this, okay. Making cards to go to take to the rest home. Oh, lovely, Anne. Gutted out the middles, there you go. Good girl, you've been watching me well. So gutting is just thrifty, and it also saves on the weight of your envelope. I'm just thinking whether that would, it's not going to quite do the length, is it, that way? Seems a shame. You know what we can do? I'm going to do it on the long length here because I think it's going to look nice. It's a wee tad short, so hey, we can improvise. It doesn't have to be any set size for a liner. So take that away from the card. I'm going to pop that on there, leave a little border. Make sure that that's nice and even all the way down. Okay, so what we do is we just take, it's a bit short there, so we're just going to take that little bit off, and then we need to get it the same proportions, so take a little bit off that side as well. So come back here, that's too, I won't keep that bit, that can go in the bin. So there we go, nice size liner. There we go, so I'll just put some Tombow here. So you see I'm just running around the edge. I'm not going right to the edge, and then a little scribble in the middle. And there we go, in there. There we go, we're in. So there's our card finished, and a nice little liner. And then the other way that I could do this, if I can find quickly, I know where they are, just bear with me a sec. Maybe not. I can't find the bag I was bringing backwards and forwards every day. It's not in there. My dies are all in there together. But the theory of that is that, say you've got a square. So I take this and have a square. I won't use this one because it's got a score line through it. I'm just going to try and get you a square. I would have die cut a piece, but those of you who've got square dies, our stylish shapes dies are good. So say I used it like this, and I put that on there, whatever angle you like. I would tend to do it as a diamond. So that could be your sentiment. And you would lay that on there. I would stamp it first so that you know what it's got. And then these remnants that I've had left over, I would then come along and go like this around the outside edges of it. So this one would butt up to that edge. This one would then cut here and cut in on that edge. And then you'd have another one over here, just happen to be the same ones at the moment, like so. And then you'd have another piece coming along off the edge here. Have a square edge on it first. And then this one would come that way. Okay, so then you could carry on round, just coming off those brackets, but doing the same theory as this. Okay, and then if you wanted to, what I like to do is have a stitched, I've got stitched square dies. I would then raise and leave that flat on there as your working point, but then I'd cut another one exactly the same for the greeting, and I'd have that raised. So we'd put it on some of our foam pads and it would raise up. So you'd continue doing this sort of effect, but all the way around the edge until it's full. And when that sheet is, oh sorry, we're just off camera a little bit there. Move you over, and then just carrying on like that, and then when that page is full, you're done. And then just do another, say that was that one, and have it raised. It just gives you a better look for it. But sadly I don't know where those dies are. I've got a bag missing. Don't think there's one in the car. Anyway, that's the theory of it if you want to have a go at that one. If not, I will show you another time, but I just thought I'd let you know how that other one works. And that also, these pieces you've got left over will do some of those shorter edges. Okay, so let me catch up on. Hi Rhonda, Rhonda's joining us. Oh look, there you go. That's Anne. Rhonda, what is your favourite holiday stamp set to make cards with for new stampers? Oh Rhonda, I really don't know. For a bit of an all-round, depends whether you're cutesy. Let me come back to me. Take that off and bring you over there. depends whether you're cutesy or not. The cutesy, I like the Snowy Wonder. That's quite nice. It's got some nice, sensible, clear sentiments in it, but it's got lots of critters in there. If you haven't got a die cut machine, then I tend to fussy cut. I've got the set and I've used them a couple of times on my lives, but I fussy cut them. If you're not worried about cutting, then go that route. But for me currently, I think my favourite is the decorative trees. I'm going to bring it back on the screen. Look, there you go. I think that's basically my favourite at the time. There we go. Because it's got some lovely sentiments. The tree sentiment here, Oh Christmas Tree, goes with these. But what I really love about these is all of these different bits and pieces. You've seen me use these, I know, several times. I've shown you how to cut from the bottom one here to cut it shorter for these two. I've used this one as a candle on a little plaque on the middle of cards. I've done a double layer with a couple of these bigger ones as overlays with glimmer. And I haven't used a lot of them yet. I haven't used the star, I haven't used the baubles, the swags, the bows, the tree trunks even. I've used most of these, but there's just so many possibilities. They probably won't have a cutting machine. Okay, so you might have to think about that. So in which case, I'd probably go for the Snowy Wonder. Yeah, everyone's got different tastes, really. It's quite a good all round. It's got lots of things on it, but you can be cute or you can have trees and houses on there. Okay, so that's probably my one at the moment. Excuse me. Yeah, I had the weekend, the week, that was a whole week. It was Monday set up and closed down today. So it's been a whole 7 days over there. The weather's been a little bit iffy. It's been quite slow. Today's been really busy. I've seen lots of people. The weather was really kind. And the weekend was the first of their paper pumpkin, that's a craft one, their pumpkin patch weekend. So they had the field open and activities in the field for the start of that, the Halloween season with the pumpkins. So that kind of really made it a lot better today. There was a lot more people about. The weather was kind, so that was good all round. And Marilyn's definitely going to give that a try. A lot of odd strips. Yes, Marilyn, absolutely. Don't forget, if you want to share some of your photos in the bottom of the thread, then please feel free and share it with other people. Different colours, different combinations, etc. might help somebody else as well. Okay, so that's all from me today, and I will see you. How are we for time? We're not bad. So o'clock on Wednesday. As always, if there's any requests, then just give me a shout and personal message and just say, hey, could you incorporate this somewhere? I was speaking to our new ladies on here. I was saying about the vellum and the alcohol markers. So maybe I will do a Christmas card or something seasonal with the alcohol markers and vellum on Wednesday. Okay, that might be nice to do. Have to work. Oh, it's on replay. That's fine. Okay, nice to see you anyway. You're welcome, Susan. Thanks so much. It's very informal. It will be there to watch. If you ever miss me, you can watch them on replay. Sometimes the easiest place to replay them is on YouTube, because I put a graphic on the front so you can see exactly kind of thing I was doing the topic that month, that live, and then you can go and choose them in the order that you want to see them. Okay, so that's all from me for now. I'm going to leave this room and I'm going to leave all the mess down the other end on the floor. All the bags are going to stay there till the morning. Okay, you're welcome, Yvonne. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now and say cheerio, and I'm going to get in my PJs and sit down and chill.